The robots' armies are already here. The robot revolution already happened. Ding, 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 ding. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Meaningwave Live Super Request Show. Everyone's favorite Meaningwave Super Request Show. This is the one place, as far as I'm aware of, where you can go along and you can dictate the set list of your very favorite artists' set in real time. Truly, we live in the future. What an age of miracles and wonders it is. This is the age of miracles and wonders. This is the long distance call. This is the meaning stream. And if anyone knows Paul Simon and would like to get Paul Simon to do a drop for us, I need to get more drops. You know, I need to get more drops. And that would be cool, you know, a dub. You know, a dub plate of Paul Simon doing a version of that, but saying, you know, this is the meaning stream. So yeah, someone get on that. Someone who's homies with Paul Simon. The rest of you, hold tight, baby, we're going in. Gemstone is 66. I got you, baby. Gemstone is 66. You have been gotted. Whoa. The Buddha said that wisdom would come only from the abandonment of selfish craving and desire. Let's have the song. It is, after all, the Meaningwave Live Super Request Show. If you're locked in live, you're on YouTube, SUPERCHAT your Meaningwave Live Super Request to get that played. If you listen on the replay, do some real hard manifesting. That shit works across space and time, didn't you know?
And so that is a nice little tangle. If I put this in the language of Oriental philosophy and religion, it would be something like this. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. One who abandons that desire attains nirvana, which is supreme peace, liberation. Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath. Exhale the breath. The opposite, desire, is to breathe in. Now, if you breathe in and hold it, you lose your breath. But if you breathe out, it comes back to you. It comes back to you. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. So the principle here is, if you want life, don't cling to it. Let go. Let go. But the problem is, if I desire not to desire, is that not already desire? How can I desire not to desire? How can I surrender myself when myself is precisely an urge to hold on, to cling to life, to continue to survive. To survive. To survive.
Yeah.
Buddha said that wisdom
must
come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. I can see rationally that by clinging to myself I may strangle myself. I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. And he knows that, but can't give it up, because the means of death are so sweet.
Hey. So sweet, baby. Hey. Boom. All right. Welcome, brothers and sisters. How you doing? This is Akira the Dynasty. Mainstream, everybody's favorite. Twice daily DJ event. Everybody's favorite. Smash that like. What's cracking with you, baby? How you doing? Shouts out to everyone locked in live already. All these early bad mofos. What up, RB Dugan says, ride in the wave to freedom from depression. Get after it. Proud of you. Proud of you. So very proud of you. So very, very proud. What up, Cindy Beatty? What up, Phil Killer? What up, YouTube Hero Alex? What up, Multiverse Media Space? What up, Matthew Fancy? What up, XX Madog Madra XX? Says hashtag Lord, hashtag Meaningwave. Holy. Tis Sunday. Tis the Lord's day, but they all are the Lord's day. This is the day the Lord hath made. Shall thou be getting after it, or shall thou be pissing in the Lord's eyes? Tis up to thou. Don been getting after it, obviously. Obviously, this is how we do. I was working on the album that's coming out in March today. The track I was working on today is a very, very tricky beast, because I've decided, with this record, what I decided I was going to have to do, due to the nature of the words, the message therein, and the effect I wanted it is necessary for it to have. It was important that the song incorporated aspects of. Let me see. Peak synthwave, peak Jim Steinman, Sisters of Mercy, Daft Punk. There's in just kind of certain sort of sonic attributes. And are simultaneously organic technologic synthesis in a very, very spiritual fashion, while simultaneously being deeply joyful and anthemic with a hint of terror. last year we got a new machine, and I got this new machine, and it was about as tricked out a machine as one could get at the time, to handle the ridiculous stuff I'd be doing. And for a few months, I was able to work, and it didn't collapse on me. But this one made it collapse. I hit the limits. I hit the limits of the beast, and so that's pretty exciting. It's always exciting to hit the limits of the beast. That's what it's all about. Hit the limits of the beast by Joe. Anyway, what you guys been up to? What you guys been up to? Oh, Hercules is really getting into the bass. Someone sent us a bass. I still don't know who. No one's owned up to it. Someone sent us a bass guitar. It's the weirdest thing. We were talking about this yesterday, right? And it was talking about someone sent us a bass guitar. Don't know who sent us a bass guitar, but someone sent us a bass guitar, and that's pretty epic. Got a bass guitar in the house for the first time for a long time. I haven't had a bass guitar in the house for ages. And, I mentioned on a stream, that I mentioned on a stream that I once played in a punk band, but I was no good at any instruments, and so they said, oh, it's all right though, you can play the bass. All you have to do is just, bong bong, play the top string, So I did. Anyway, and I told that story, and then someone sent me a bass yesterday, and I mentioned it again, and someone in the chat said, Jocko said the same thing. I said, really? I knew Jocko was in a band, but I thought he was the singer. Anyway, then I had a shower earlier, and I was putting something on while I'm in the shower like you do sometimes, And Jocko comes on, and he's doing some listicle. He's doing an amusing listicle, And he talks about how he's in a band. And I've heard him talk about being in bands before, and said he sang. And he tells the story of how he was no good at any instrument, so they made him play the bass guitar, and he plucked the top string. I was like, what? That's weird. Well, it's not weird. That's one of those signs from God. That's what that is. And also Jocko tweeted us this week, didn't he? And he retweeted the top 50. So there's some signs from God with relation to Jocko and some questions we've been having in our planning meetings. So shout out to God, Shout out to God. D-Man says maybe Jocko sent it. Maybe Jocko sent it. I know, we just don't know. We just don't know who sent it. But I do know that I am interpreting it as a sign from God. By the way, oftentimes people say the universe, right? I'm just saying God. Because when people say the universe, really that's what they mean, God, right? People say the universe because they don't want to say God, They're like, ooh, that's a bit much, That's a bit much, that one. Ha! Nay, I say we say God. I'm going to say God more and more. It's a good thing to say. God. G-O-O-D. Feel it coming out your face. Feel the power. God! And when you're saying it about that rather than like you stubbed your toe, It feels good. Just like it feels good to be a gangster. It does feel good to be a gangster, I got to tell you. Oh! Alright, let me play a song and orient myself properly, Sometimes you gotta play a song to orient yourself properly.
Akira.
Whoa.
I was talking about that.
Whoa.
Again, thinking a lot about it. I think the two basic types of music indigenous to this country are the black music, blues, and the kind of folk music that was brought over from Europe, and I guess they call it country music, or the kind of West Virginia high and lonesome sound. Those are the two main streams of root American music. It looks like 10 years ago, what they call rock and roll was kind of a blending of those two forms. And I guess what's happening now is rock is kind of dying out, and everyone is going back to the roots again. Some are going into country, and some are going back into basic blues. I guess in 4 or 5 years, the new generation's music will be
it'll have a synthesis of those two elements and some third thing. Maybe it'll be, it might rely heavily on electronics, tapes. I can kind of envision maybe one person with arm machines. One person with arm machines. One person with arm machines. Singing or speaking and using machines. One person with arm machines. One person with arm machines. One person with arm machines. Singing or speaking and using 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 machines. Electronic sounds. Using machines.
Whoa.
Using machines.
Woo.
Using machines. Singing or speaking and using machines. Using machines.
Whoa. Hey! Using machines. Using machines. Using machines. Whoa!
Singing or speaking and using machines. Singing or speaking and using machines. Singing or speaking and using machines. Using machines.
Hey!
Using machines. Using machines. Singing or speaking and using machines. Using machines.
That was Akira the Don and Jim Morrison there of The Doors, collaborating across space and time. When I say collaborating, he's spoken. And I ran with that, you know. Jim Morrison predicting Meaningwave in 1972 or whatever it was. Yeah! Whoa! It's cracking, baby. How you doing? Welcome to the Meaningwave Live Super Request Show. SUPERCHAT your Meaningwave Super Request like Ryan Hack did. We're about to play Ryan Hack's request. Ooh. Ooh. Who was asking? Somebody said, hey, Akira, I wonder, is there anything you recommend I listen to you that helped kill depression? Brackets, Joe Rogan, close brackets. That works, maybe. Also, when you're going to create a chess Meaningwave. Well, the answer to the first question, I would say pretty much all of it is actually designed partly with that in mind. Like pretty much all of it. If you just sat down and listened to Meaningwave for an afternoon, you wouldn't have time to be thinking about depression. You'd be too busy being like really excited to get after it and be maximum you, right? However, that does suggest that such a specific playlist is required, right? So I'm gonna have a word with Meaningwave Chief Archivist Diverting Tales about getting a How to Kill Depression playlist together. I would say that a good place to start might be the Doomer to Bloomer playlist, actually, which is designed specifically to turn one from a miserable, useless fuck into an epic, glorious, useful member of society, you know? So I would check that, and I think there's a version of that on there's definitely one on Spotify, I think there's one on YouTube, and there's one on Apple or whatever, you know? So I'd check that out. Just search Doomer to Bloomer, you'll find it, you know, Doomer to Bloomer. That'll get you where you need to go, baby, and where you need to go, of course, is right here. Hey! D-Man says, honestly, just tuning in twice a day has killed my depression. 9 out of 10 doctors recommend tune in twice a day, you know, and the other one is on the payroll as some some people, some paperclip people, you know, paperclip, you know them paperclip people, you know them ones that they got on an airplane after that war and caused a bunch of trouble. Loads of trouble. It's amazing, really. Anyway, how are you? Let's have an international high five. This is the day the Lord has made. It's a beautiful Sunday. Yo! Aram Hassan says, that sounds really good. Thank you, Akira. Love you and your work. Thanks for creating everything for us all during these terrifying times. Nothing to be scared. No need to be scared, baby. No need to be scared whatsoever. We have been through so much worse, and that's pretty much all we've been through historically. If you look at historically, pretty much everything we went through was worse. All right, so this is cool right now. This is actually like pretty chill. You know, historically, pretty chill. Pretty chill. Nobody has dragged me out of my house kicking and screaming and caved in my skull with a rock. This week. Hasn't happened this week. You know, so it's been a pretty good week, I gotta say. What up, Val Venus? Val Venus here with the important questions. The important questions like, how are you, Akira? Isn't that a lovely question? Thank you, Val Venus. Said all in capitals as well, like a G. Okay, you smoking fat doinks with your badass wife. Ow. Those were some days, I gotta say. There was a period in time when that's all we did, you know, me and my badass wife, you know, we were smoking fat doinks and that's about it, you know. Because now we're following this meaningful path, you know, getting after it. Getting after it so hard, by Jove. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta say, shout out to everyone who suggested that that underwater game that Hercules was asking about would be good. He's loving it so much. He's having such a wonderful time. What's it called? Subnautica, I think? Yeah, he loves it, baby. He loves it. Splash, splash. Anyway, international high five o'clock. Let me know where on God's green earth you are and what you aiming at this week. We got a new week about to kick off. What are you aiming at this week, by Jove? If you ain't got an aim, we know, well, what are you? You aimless, aren't you? If you don't have an aim, you are aimless. You need an aim so you can engineer some goals to carry you towards that aim, you know? Not goals, systems. That's what I mean. Don't engineer goals unless you play for Manchester United, you know? And or another football team. Oh my goodness, my wife put on the rugby earlier. It's fucking creepy, baby. They're playing rugby, right? In a rugby stadium, but there's nobody in the stadium. It's empty. But there's crowd noise. It's the creepiest thing, baby. I don't know how anyone can deal with that. I switched it off. I ain't having that kind of creepy weirdness in my house. That's fucked up. Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know, here at the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone, we never have anything like fake crowd noise, do we? Make some noise. Yes! Come on! Woo! What the blessed gosh is water? Huh? Let's see what people saying. We got Stefan, huh? In Scotland, what's cracking, baby? We got Robert Easley in Oak Brook, Illinois, putting systems in place to get back into working out. Get after it. RB Dugan and Walking Mall Poet both retracting their messages. It's interesting. So it's 2076. Why is everyone retracting their messages? What's going on? Did you all let loose some secrets? And then realized that was a bad idea. Chris, they did the same thing with baseball. Oh, that sucks. MC Chubby, out Galactic, highest five, brother. Thank you. Mustard023 says, I gotta pay 6,000 euros, original fine 300 euros. Next time I see a cop, I'll walk a big bow around it, sadly. I don't understand that sentence. Seems to have large amounts of money tied to police activity. Christopher Hernandez, Puerto Rico, aiming for a hyperproductive system. The message disappeared. What's going on? Where is everyone retracting their messages? Hey, finding a place to live, get after it. Ruben Ponce, learning about cybersecurity in my search for meaning, get after it. Ors Ivian Ors. Melbourne, Australia, I'm aiming at renovating my deck this week. I'm making it beautiful. What a wonderful man. What a wonderful man you are, doing such a beautiful thing. Andrew Kumarumi, Scarborough, aiming at becoming the best Veep I can be. The best Veep by Joe, get after it. Cindy Bailey, Moreno Valley, aiming at shaking off the last little bit of Tom Hanks and getting my house back in order. Whole house falls apart when Mama has got Tom Hanks, that's real. Real! Fool Killer, Maryland, aiming at reaching higher states. Higher. D-Man, message retracted. What's wrong with you? R.B. Dugan, being the best grandpa I can be. Papa Dukes. Noel, goal for the week is not procrastinating on any classwork. Time to get after it, or should I say...
Get after it.
Yeah. 2076 for this upcoming week. I will go study 6 hours a day, do my morning routine system, jog 20 minutes a day, go ruck workout, woof. Hurrah! Val Venus says, all I watch is Akira, David Goggins, and Sam Hyde. My life is simple. No wonder. That explains so much. Proud of you. Proud of you.
Shakalaka.
Where's that song gone? The instrument just disappeared. It was so powerful a message. Yeah! And what a super group that sounds like, huh? Kira the Don, David Goggins, and Sam Hyde. We should form a boy band. Yeah. Red King, Jersey City, planning a move to Texas and a career change. Texas! D-Man, shouts out to Jersey City. What's up? Cindy Bailey, what's up? Walking Park, Virginia, aiming at more balance. Going between Jocko, discipline, energy, and what's wave. Watching what's going on. Every time I... You know what? Jocko's done such a great job marketing his energy drink. Every time I see the word Jocko and energy anywhere near each other, I get thirsty, and I've never even drunk a Jocko energy drink. What up, Richard Max says, love you, Akira, stay legendary. Hey, thank you. Thank you, we will do our very best. I'm not quite sure what else I would do. Chris Utah, aiming keeping things moving in a positive direction. Yes. Val Venus, I'm in New York freezing to death because all I own are basketball shorts and hockey jerseys. Shake that ass. Stefan, huh? My weekend ritual is full body workout on the floor and pull-up bar blasting Goggins. Come on. Come on. YouTube hero Alex doing some yeeting. Get after it, my guy. Yeah. Well, it seems like the brave citizens of the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone have got their aims in order. Aims in order, by Jove. And that's a wonderful thing, and it gets a wonderful international high five. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Hi! Ba-ba-da-ba. Whoa! 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 Gang!
Your biggest enemy. The most important conversation you will ever have in your fucking life is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually, you're gonna act on it.
Act!
Whether you're good or bad.
Go!
It's about you. It's about you.
Whoa!
It is about you. You finding who you are. It's about you.
You!
It's about you.
Yeah!
It is about you. You finding who you are. So many people die, live 100 years, never fucking know who they are. have to look in that mirror and know there's so much more in here, man. Because I can literally right now be a 300-pound guy spraying for cockroaches still to this day. If I did not look in that mirror and say, there has to be more to this. This can't be it. And then willing to go into it, dive deep into it, and give all I have to find it. That's what all that's about. It's about you.
Aye.
It's about you.
Whoa.
It is about you. You finding who you are.
Aye. Aye. It's about
you.
Aye. It's about
you.
Aye.
It is about
you.
You finding who you are.
Time. Bless. Aye. Wow. Holy cow, I was on something when I made this record. Whoa. Whoa. This is one of the last ones I mastered myself. Like, technically that kick is a bit distorted. Sounds real good though. I quite like my technically incorrect mastering. Shit is hard. Whoa! Yo, Val Venus, it's about you! That's right, it's about you! That's right! Alpha Max, it's about you! Alpha Max says, Akira, during lunch breaks, I walk my dog. For 45 minutes, I listen to your Goggins and Rogan mixtapes. Do you know why that is, Alpha Max? That's because you smart! And it's about you! It's about you! Ow. It's about you! It's about you! It's about you! Aram. This is a special request from Red King.
Akira.
For Aram.
It's for the heroes.
Get after it.
You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. 90% of it is just showing up. Get there and start working. Like, you're not gonna feel perfect every day.
Nah.
Gotta be those days you push through. This is what I want you to do. Write down what you would like to fix about your life. If you're 30 pounds overweight, you want to lose 30 pounds? Do it the right way. Write down what you eat. Exercise every day. Force yourself to do it. The brain is the general, the troops are the body, and you get up and you do it. And then you get to write it down. You know, you're doing what you gotta do to get by, but ultimately you're not respecting yourself. I think we all have a certain amount of appreciation and respect for hero figures. We all look at the guy who never lies, always does the right thing, and fucking helps everybody out, and that's the John Wayne character, you know, that's the ultimate hero.
Aye.
The ultimate hero.
Go.
You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. look at your own life and you don't stack up, you're a thief, you stole money from your wife's purse, you don't want to smoke cigarettes, but you fucking have to, you can't deal with the stress, you smoke. You devalue yourself. You slowly start devaluing yourself. You look at yourself and you realize that if you were judging yourself, you would judge yourself unfairly. You can't pretend you're the hero of your story. Hero of your story. Most people get stuck in these patterns, find themselves in the person who doesn't follow through on their ideas. When I start things and I quit. No, you don't. No, you have started things and you quit, and it gives you a horrible thing of regret that's made you define yourself by that. You're not who you were a year ago. You're not who you were 5 years ago. You're not who you were last week. So you gotta regulate how much you dwell on regrets of the past. You really gotta be careful. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. You can be the hero of your own story that woke up today. You can be the hero of your own story that at 40 years of age stopped, got out of bed and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this anymore. And I'm gonna get myself in shape and I'm gonna eat healthy. And I'm gonna do this. Because this is me now. This is me now. I decided this is me. And people have to realize that you are not your past. You are not all the times you fucked up. Not all the times you were drunk. That's not you. That's not you. You are the person who's learned from a great deal of experience. This is a battle that you will fight for the rest of your life. But the key is to fight it, not to give in. Don't give in to that resistance. Fight that resistance. And in doing so, every day you do so, you have won the battle for that day. And you will continue to fight that battle. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that. You have to be the hero of your own story. And you can do that.
1, 2, go! Meaningwave outside of a song. This was a request from Red King. It goes out to Ara. It also goes out to you. You! Most definitely you! Ow! Man like Thomas Vincent, living in a trailer. I want to let you all know, I am living in a trailer. I bought it last week. I'm being the hero of my own story. Get after it! Get after it! Are you in Arkansas? Or is it Arkansas? I can never remember. You can buy like a forest there for 20 grand and you can just buy a whole forest, you know? Just park your trailer in it and live in a trailer in the middle of the forest and everybody leave you alone. Amazing! Yo! Valvina says, Akira, you should seriously check out Punjabi MC. Yo, do you know how many versions of that song are in my DJ library, Valvinus? Do you know how many times I've played that on the stream? By the way, many times.
Honeypot.
Many times. Don't tell me you've missed those beautiful times. Come back, Solo. Come back, Guitar Solo. Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Do it! Do it!
System will set out honeypots for people to get trapped in.
Honeypots?
The ideas of retirement, the ideas of the golden years, providing you benefits, providing you a healthy work environment. Why? Well, because they want people to work for them. They don't want people to realize their own dreams and escape. They want to set it up so that you stick around. Stick around in some sort of an unsatisfying world. It's up to you to see that video game problem, see that issue as it comes up on the map, and calculate your future.
Akira the Don, Joseph Rogan. Wow, what a dream team. What a dream team that is, baby. Akira the Don and Joseph Rogan. Be the hero. Be the hero. Be the hero. Walkable Poet says, it just made my night that Akira pronounced Arkansas as Arkansas. I do that all the time, and I thought I was alone. No, man, because I first heard about that place in a Hunter S. Thompson book. And it was called Better Than Sex, you know. And the whole first section of it was about this guy called William Clinton or something like that. And he was like some like local dodgy politician. And like there was a bunch of video cassettes of him doing like terrible things with like a young female in a park, you know, in what I read as Arkansas, you know. He started it with the poem about the old lady and the snake. You hear that a lot. You hear that poem a lot, you know. The story of the old lady and the snake is just eternally relevant, you know. It's eternally relevant. People spend a lot of their time picking up snakes, you know, and nursing them back to health, then getting bitten by them and being like, what the fuck? And then the snakes say, well, you knew I was a snake when you picked me up. But people are constantly surprised when they get bitten by snakes, you know. Happens all the time. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yo, it is. Speaking of amazing... Speaking of amazing! I don't know how I do it, baby. My fire transitions. I'm pulling up videos so I can VJ.
Do you know, Asclepius, that Egypt is an image of heaven? Or to speak more exactly, in Egypt, all the operations of the powers which rule and work in heaven are present in the earth below. In fact, it should be said that the whole cosmos dwells in this our land, as in a sanctuary. And yet, since it is fitting that wise men should have knowledge of all events before they come to pass, you must not be left in ignorance of what I will now tell you. There will come a time when it will have been in vain that Egyptians have honored the Godhead with heartfelt piety and service, and all our holy worship will be fruitless and ineffectual. The gods will return from earth to heaven. Egypt will be forsaken, and the land which was once the home of religion will be left desolate, bereft of the presence of its deity.
Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Of thy religion, nothing will remain but an empty tale. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Of thy religion, nothing will remain but an empty tale,
which thine own children in time to come will not believe. Akira. Nothing will be left but graven words, and only the stones will tell of thy piety. And in that day, men will be weary of life, and they will cease to think the universe worthy of reverent wonder and worship. They will no longer love this world around us, this incomparable work of God, this glorious structure which He has built, this sum of good made up of many diverse forms, this instrument whereby the will of God operates in that which He has made, ungrudgingly favoring man's welfare. This combination and accumulation of all the manifold things that call forth the veneration, praise, and love of the beholder. Darkness will be preferred to light, and death will be thought more profitable than love. No one will raise his eyes to heaven. The pious will be deemed ignorant. The impious wise, the madman will be thought a brave man, and the wicked will be esteemed as good.
Whoa!
soul, and the belief that it is immortal by nature, or may hope to attain to immortality, as I have taught you. All this they will mock, and even persuade themselves that it is false.
Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt.
Of thy religion, nothing will remain but an empty
Oh, Egypt, Egypt.
Whoa.
Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt.
Of thy religion, nothing will remain but an
No
empty
word of reverence or piety, no utterance worthy of heaven, will be heard or believed, and so the gods will depart from mankind, a grievous thing. And only evil angels will remain, who will mingle with men and drive the poor wretches into all manner of reckless crime, into wars and robberies and frauds and all things hostile to the nature of the soul. Then will the earth tremble and the sea bear no ships. Heaven will not support the stars in their orbits. All voices of the gods will be forced into silence. The fruits of the earth will rot, the soil will turn barren, and the very air will sicken with sullen stagnation. All things will be disordered and awry. All good will disappear. When all this has befallen Asclepius, then God, the creator of all things, will look on that which has come to pass, and will stop the disorder by the counterforce of his will, which is the good. He will call back to the right path those who have gone astray. He will cleanse the world of evil, washing it away with floods, burning it out with the fiercest fire, and expelling it with war and pestilence. And thus he will bring back his world to its former aspect, so that the cosmos will once more be deemed worthy of worship and wondering reverence. And God, the maker and maintainer of the mighty fabric, will be adored by the men of that day with continuous songs of praise and blessing. Such is the new birth of the cosmos. It is a making again of all things good, a holy and awe-inspiring restoration of all nature. And it is wrought inside the process of time by the eternal will of the Creator.
Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Of thy religion, nothing will remain but an empty tile.
Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt. Oh, Egypt, Egypt.
Of thy religion, nothing will remain but an empty tile. Yeah. Yo! Prince Jabrika's XV, that was for thee and everyone else, but you requested it, you bad man, you. Banger alert.
You can't eat 10 roasts of beef in one day. Can't live in 6 houses at once. Can't drive 3 Rolls Royces at the same time. What do you do? Watch what is going on. Watch what happens. Nobody ever does this, you know. Nobody ever does this, you know. Watch what is going on. Watch what happens. Nobody ever does this, you know. Nobody ever does this, you know. They'll make more money. You put your money back. Invest it in something else and it'll make more. And you don't give a damn how it's made, so long as they make it. You don't care if they foul the rivers, put oil fumes throughout the air everywhere to kill off all the fish. So look, so long as you see these figures happen, you're not aware of anything else. So you see, you went out to do a self-improvement thing. Making money, you see, is a measure of improvement, a measure of your economic worthwhileness. Or at least that's what it's supposed to be. It isn't anything of the kind. But you went out, in other words, for the status instead of for the actuality. Watch what is going on.
Watch what happens. Nobody ever does this, you know. Nobody ever does this, you know. Watch what is going on. Watch what happens. Nobody ever does this, you know. Nobody ever does this, you know. Nobody ever does this, you know. Great day, we're walking more poet because it's hard. David Foster Wallace request for the gang.
Biggest, most disgustingly selfish vehicles driven by the ugliest, most inconsiderate and aggressive drivers. And I can think about how our children's children will despise us for wasting all the future fuel and probably screwing up the climate, and how spoiled and stupid and selfish and disgusting we all are, and how modern consumer society just sucks, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. If I choose to think this way in the store and on the freeway, fine. Lots of us do. Except thinking this way tends to be so easy and automatic that it doesn't have to be a choice. It is my natural default setting. It's the automatic way that I experience the boring, frustrating, crowded parts of adult life when I'm operating on the automatic, unconscious belief that I am the center of the world.
Yo, glad you safe, Jules Vaughn.
Needs and feelings are what should determine the world's priorities.
Welcome home.
The thing is that, of course, there are totally different ways to think about these kinds of situations. In this traffic, all these vehicles stuck and idling in my way, it's not impossible that some of these people in SUVs have been in horrible auto accidents in the past, and now find driving so terrifying that their therapist has all but ordered them to get a huge, heavy SUV so they can feel safe enough to drive. Or that the Hummer that just cut me off is maybe being driven by a father whose little child is hurt or sick in the seat next to him, and he's trying to get this kid to the hospital. And he's in a way bigger, more legitimate hurry than I am. It is actually I who am in his way.
I'm going to throw the chat on screen, make some noise, Meaningwave Autonomous Zone, make some noise!
Where I can choose to force myself to consider the likelihood that everyone else in the supermarket's checkout line is just as bored and frustrated as I am. And that some of these people probably have much harder, more tedious or painful lives than I do. Again, please don't think I'm giving you moral advice, or that I'm saying you're supposed to think this way, or that anyone expects you to just automatically do it. Because it's hard. It takes will and effort. Do it. Because it's hard. It takes will and effort. And if you were like me, some days you won't be able to do it. Or you just flat out won't want to. But most days, if you're aware enough to give yourself a choice, you can choose to look differently at this fat, dead-eyed, over-made-up lady who just screamed at her kid in the checkout line. Maybe she's not usually like this. Maybe she's been up 3 straight nights holding the hand of her husband who's dying of bone cancer.
Or maybe this very lady, the low-wage clerk at the motor vehicles department, who just yesterday helped your spouse resolve a horrific, infuriating red tape problem through some small act of bureaucratic kindness. None of this is likely, but it's also not impossible. It just depends what you want to consider. If you're automatically sure that you know what reality is and who and what is really important, if you want to operate on your default setting, then you, like me, probably won't consider possibilities that aren't annoying and miserable. But if you really learn how to think, how to pay attention, then you will know you have other options. Do it. Because it's hard. It takes will and effort. Do it. Because it's hard. It takes will and effort.
Yeah!
It will actually be within your power.
Smash that like. It takes will and effort.
A crowded,
you should do it anyway.
Hot, slow, consumer hell type situation as not only meaningful, but sacred. On fire with the same force that lit the stars. Love, fellowship, the mystical oneness of all things deep down. On fire with the same force that lit the stars. Love, fellowship, the mystical oneness of all things deep down. Not that that mystical stuff's necessarily true. The only thing that's capital T true is that you get to decide how you're going to try to see it. On fire with the same force that lit the stars. Love, fellowship, the mystical oneness of all things deep down. On fire with the same force that lit the stars.
Cause it's hard. It takes
Love,
will and effort.
Fellowship, the mystical oneness of all things deep down.
Cause it's hard. It takes will and effort. Cause it's hard. It takes will and effort. Cause it's hard. Insight of the ages. What's cracking, baby? Says tonight I feel like I'm in the belly of the whale. Will my children have what it takes to rescue me? Depends how you raised them, I guess, huh? I think maybe you already know that answer, huh? Yeah! Do it! Cause it's hard. It takes will and effort. Do it. Cause it's hard. It takes will and effort. So goes out to Ali. Your doneness, may I request from suffering? Cause suffering is inevitable if we're gonna get to the other side of this journey. That's just facts. Yo!
I'm gonna say the exact opposite of what today's world is saying. So we read a bunch of books nowadays. As humans, we want to find out how to be someone else. What we don't do is we don't go inside. So literally turn yourself inside out. Like we're writing a book every day of our lives, but we never read that book. You have to look inside of yourself to see what you really want. What are you passionate about? We use these words and these little phrases of only the strong survive and all this other crap. They're all just fucking words. I get so tired of hearing people just talking. Like right now, someone may think Goggins is just talking. You don't know me. So when I speak from passion. I speak from experience. I speak from suffering. I speak from suffering. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer. To grow. To grow, you must suffer. I speak from suffering. Some people will get it and some people won't.
Some people get it and some people won't.
But they have to see what their journey is to start their journey.
Some people get it and some people won't.
Several people live to be 100 years old, and they have great lives, and they have great kids. Their kids go to college and all sorts of stuff. But somewhere in their life, there was a point where they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path.
Left or right on this path.
They can go left or right on this path.
Left or right on this path.
Left was the easy route. Right was a hard route. A lot of people take the easy route. And they had a good life that way, but the better life was going to the right side. And you may have 20 years of pain and suffering to get past it, but a lot of us die never truly starting our journey. And you gotta start your journey. It may suck, but it will come out the other side where you're coasting. I speak from suffering. I speak from suffering. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to
suffer. To grow. To grow, you must suffer. Alright.
I speak from suffering. Every day, we're seeing who we are as people. When I was growing up, I lied for people to accept me because I didn't accept myself. So I would make up stories so that you would accept me into your world. Everything I did was for someone else to like me. It wasn't until I started reading my own book about how pathetic I was as a human being. I could blame my dad, I can blame kids at school, I could blame having health issues, ADD, my mom not being around. Great mom, but she was doing her thing. I could blame a lot of people. And that's the book I was reading. And I put it off on everybody else. It wasn't until I said, you know what, for me to fix this, I gotta read what the fuck is wrong with David Goggins. And not blame anybody. Read my book, it's okay. I'm afraid of my shadow. How can I overcome that? Go in the military, get your ass kicked, do things you hate to do, be uncomfortable every fucking day of your life. Roger that. I'm not the smartest kid in the world. Okay. Instead of somebody saying, oh no, you're smart. No, don't say that to yourself. I said to myself, no, I'm a dumb motherfucker. Okay, roger that. How you get smarter? Educate yourself. So the things that we run from, we're running from the truth. We're running from the truth, man. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I am today. I speak from suffering. I speak from suffering. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer.
Alpha is my enemy. That's so weird. What's up, Sway?
You wonder what to make of it. I've thought about this for years and years and years, and I don't know why there should be an invisible syntactical intelligence giving language lessons in hyperspace. That certainly consistently seems to be what is happening. I've thought a lot about language as a result of that. First of all, it is the most remarkable thing we do. Chomsky showed the deep structure of languages under genetic control, but that's like the assembly language level. Local expressions of language are epigenetic. It seems to me that language is some kind of enterprise of human beings that is not finished. It seems to me that language is some kind of enterprise of human beings that is not finished. We have now left the grunts and the digs of the elbow somewhat in the dust. But the most articulate, brilliantly pronounced and projected English or French or German or Chinese is still a poor carrier of our intent, a very limited bandwidth for the intense compression of data that we are trying to put across to each other. Intense compression of data. It occurs to me the ratios of the senses, the ratio between the eye and the ear and so forth, this also is not genetically fixed. There are ear cultures and there are eye cultures, print cultures and electronic cultures. So it may be that our perfection and our completion lies in the perfection and completion of the word. It seems to me that language is some kind of enterprise of human beings that is not finished. It seems to me that language is some kind of enterprise of human beings that is not finished. Again, this curious theme of the word and its effort to concretize itself. A language that you can see is far less ambiguous than a language that you hear. If I read a paragraph of Proust, then we could spend the rest of the afternoon discussing what did he mean. But if we look at a piece of sculpture by Henry Moore, we can discuss what did he mean, but at a certain level there is a kind of shared bedrock that isn't in the Proust passage. We each stop at a different level with the textual passage. With the three-dimensional object, we all sort of start from the same place and then work out our interpretations. Is it a nude? Is it an animal? Is it bronze? Is it wood? Is it poignant? Is it comical? So forth and so on. It seems to me that language is some kind of enterprise of human beings that is not finished. It seems to me that language is some kind of enterprise of human beings that is not finished. It is the most remarkable thing we do. It is the most remarkable thing we do. You wonder what to make of it. It is the most remarkable thing we do. It is the most
big shout out to Sway La Duenas for getting us to play that. I don't think I've listened to that since I put it out. It's amazing. Holy shit.
You want to make sure
what a wonderful song. What a wonderful song. It's so weird that I used to put songs out without hitting them all with choruses, though. It is weird that I used to do that. Well, like, as in without hitting them with a bit, like with the melody. But it's dope, man. It's dope. I'm so glad that exists. Holy shit. That would suggest that we're due some Terence, huh?
You want to make sure that you always inject novelty. It's what triggers memory.
What up, Ruben?
Because you're
Ruben.
bored of the sameness.
Ruben.
Trigger.
Come on.
Attention with contrast is a way to get people to move from where they are to where you want them to be. You just say, well, it's much less expensive than this. So contrast is one of the most important buttons. Use contrast often. Hey, you don't want to be this bad. You could be over here. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. And if you keep things simple, the brain can process it and deal with it. And if you keep things simple, the brain can process it and deal with it. If it's complicated, your brain has a tendency to just flush it out. Can't deal with it, flush it out. The fake because is a form of pseudo-logic. Sometimes you need to get people moving with a fake reason that doesn't even actually pass logical standards, but people don't need logical reasons. Just look at politics. People have incredibly different opinions, and many of them are smart. So if you've got smart people on opposite sides of basically every issue, you can see that they don't need real reasons. We're not a species that operates on real reasons. We'll take a fake reason, we'll take one we made up, we'll take a guess, we'll follow our friends. Once you understand that people don't need real reasons, it frees you. Because if you're locked in a little world at a lower level of awareness where you say, well, I'm not going to convince somebody unless I have a real reason. Sorry, that's not the reality any of us live in. Real reasons are good. If you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Real reasons are good. If you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Real reasons are good. If you have them, use them. But we don't need them. Once you know you don't need them and that reality can be authored, you're in better shape. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines.
Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines. The more you repeat, the more the wiring gets solidified. Repetition and simplicity. Our brains are just simple machines.
Excellent choice there, Ruben. Here with the Don and Scott Adams from the Interface for Reality LP.
The three transformations of the spirit.
What is this?
That's Nietzsche.
Oh, okay.
That's the prologue to Thus Spake Zarathustra. When you are a child, when you are young, you are a camel. The camel gets down on its knees and says, put a load on me. This is obedience. This is receiving the instruction and information that your society knows you must have in order to live a competent life. When the camel is well loaded, he gets up on his feet and runs out into the desert, where he becomes transformed into a lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The function of the lion is to kill a dragon. And the name of the dragon is Thou Shalt. And on every scale of the dragon there is a Thou Shalt imprinted. Some of it comes from 2,000 years, 4,000 years ago. Some of it comes from yesterday morning's newspaper headline. When the dragon is killed, the lion is transformed into a child. An innocent child living out of its own dynamic.
Yeah.
Nietzsche uses the term ein aus sich rollendes Rad, a wheel rolling out of its own center. That's what you become. That is the mature individual.
Kaboom!
The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion.
Yeah!
The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The function of a lion is to kill a dragon. Ow! The Thou Shalt is a civilizing force. It turns a human animal into a civilized human being. But then the one who is thrown off the Thou Shalt is still a civilized human being. You see, he has been humanized, you might say, by the Thou Shalt system. So his performance now as a child is not simply childlike at all. He has assimilated the culture and thrown it off as a Thou Shalt. But this is the way in any artwork. You go to work and study an art. You study the techniques. You study all the rules.
Yeah.
And the rules are put upon you by a teacher. Then there comes a time of using the rules, not being used by them. Do you understand what I'm saying? The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion.
Hey!
The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The function of a lion is to kill a dragon.
Aye.
The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion.
Ow!
The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion.
Aye, aye.
The heavier the load, the more powerful the lion. The function of a lion is to kill a dragon.
What's up? That was a special request for Andrew. Hey, double Andrew. Come on, Romy asked for it. Andrew Sundoku, thank you for the support and the appreciation of this epic, unreleased record. Make some noise for epic, unreleased records. Happy birthday, Sway's wife. Is that correct? It's Sway's wife's birthday. Happy birthday! Oh! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Record so unreleased and so unfinished it doesn't have a proper end. Doesn't quite have a proper end. It just sort of finishes abruptly. But that's cool, you know, because it's an unreleased classic. Once again, thank you, Andrew Sundoku. Appreciate the support. Shouts out to everyone who supports the wave. God bless each and every one of you. And this was a request from a little earlier. I've been waiting till this point in the show to play it because it had to be the right point of the show to play it. You know, it had to be the right point of the show. By the way, Andrew Komaromi, when he requested that song said the unreleased Camel, Lion, Dragon, Child, Cheers. It's actually called Zarathustra's Prologue. That's the name of the song. In case you're ever wondering, you know, and you're ever trying to find it on Spotify and you can't. It's not on there. Neither's this.
Akira.
Neither's this Word XP. This is one of them rare ones.
Commitment, man. It's like life is hard, right? Like, yeah, you might get hurt. It's like
You know, your heart might get broken. You know, it's like you might lose your job, but you still gotta commit. You know, you gotta commit, right? You know what I mean? You gotta commit, right? You know what I mean? You gotta commit, right? You know what I mean? Don't hesitate. Go! Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go! Commit. You gotta commit. You know. And it's like, you know, you meet somebody and, hey, you know, you like her and she likes you. And you're hesitating. Don't hesitate. Go! Commit. You gotta commit. You know, commit. You gotta commit. You know, commit. You gotta commit. You know, commit. You gotta commit. Don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Hey. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know. You might get hurt. You might lose something. But it's like you can't experience the joy that is intended for you in life if you don't go. You gotta go, man. Don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know, don't hesitate. Go. Commit. You gotta commit. You know. Hey. What's up, Wet XP? Always comes in clutch with the epic request. Man like Wet XP in the place to be, the MAZ. With your host, it's ATD. Lord of the WAVE. You gotta commit, you know? You gotta commit! That song is like the twin of Jocko's Go. They both say go a lot in them, you know? Go is a good thing to say in a record. You ever made a record, right? If you ever make a record, I suggest making one that says go in it a lot, because it feels real good saying it, you know? Go! 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 That's right, that's Akira the Don and Will Smith. You hear that? That's the Don and the Prince. That's what that is. That's the Don and the Prince. That's that rare shit, baby. That's rare. That's rare. That's rare. You know, I forgot that even existed. Shouts out to Word XP. Hey, Sway's wife. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Here's a song. Woo! Woo! Hey. Yeah. Everything is just an impression, says the cynic, and the response is obvious enough. But the point is a useful one. If you take it for what it's worth, the soul of man does violence to itself first. When it does its best to become an abscess, a kind of detached growth in the world. So being vexed by anything that happens, it's a kind of success from nature, and it compromises the nature of all things. To be vexed by anything that happens is a kind of succession from nature, and it compromises the nature of all things. The soul of man is violence to itself when it turns its back on another, or it sets out to do harm, as the souls of the angry do. Whenever powered by pleasure or pain, when it puts on a mask and does or says anything insincerely and untruly. When it allows its action, an impulse to be without a purpose, to be random and disconnected. Even the smallest things that would be directed towards the goal of a rational animal. Follow the reason and law of the gods. Duration, momentary, nature, perception, condition of body, decaying, spinning around, fortune, unpredictable, lasting fame, uncertain. The body and its parts are a river. The soul is a dream and mist. Life is warfare and a journey far from home. After fame is oblivion. The body and its parts are a river. The soul is a dream and mist. Life is warfare and a journey far from home. After fame is oblivion. What can guide us? Only philosophy, which means keeping the demon in man free from violence and unarmed. Superior pleasure or pain, doing that without purpose. Aye, no hypocrisy, randomly or dishonestly, not dependent on any man, doing or not doing anything. Aye, accept what's happening. Aye, and all this a lot it is coming from this, and above all to accept death in a cheerful spirit, in a cheerful spirit. There's nothing but the disillusion of that from what it is made. If it doesn't hurt the individual elements to change continually into each other, why are people afraid of all them changing, separating? It's according to nature, and nothing's evil that's according to nature. Nothing's evil that's according to nature. Yeah! The body and its parts are a river. The soul is a dream and mist. Life is warfare and a journey far from home. After fame is oblivion. The body and its parts are a river. The soul is a dream and mist. Life is warfare and a journey far from home. After fame is oblivion. According to nature, nothing's evil that's according to nature. Nothing's evil that's according to nature. Aye. Akira the Donor and Marcus Aurelius. The song's called A River. It's from the album Meditations Volume 1. Volume 1. Volume 1! That suggests a Volume 2. Anyway, that one goes out to Sway and Sway's wife! Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sway's wife. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, we just had a request in for a track from a mix. We can't play those. I can't play a track from a mix. It's embedded deep in a mix. You know, the mix isn't split into individual tracks that are in my DJ library. That's rather like partly one of the many reasons to be turning those mixes into albums. I'm afraid, Mason, it cannot be done. But thank you. That does lead to the point that What's Wave 3 and What's Wave 1 remain to be turned into albums. That is something that we must do. We must do that. That must be done. Speaking of albums, we got a new album coming out in a couple weeks. Just a couple weeks.
And this is the first track from it. Whoa!
After 6 million years of boredom, the evolutionary ascent of our species from the last common ancestor with the chimpanzee happened to us less than 100,000 years ago, which, by the way, is long after we'd become anatomically modern. It was a kind of emergence into consciousness.
And we became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures.
And we became
fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures.
And this great change has been defined as the single most important step forward in the evolution of human behavior, is intimately associated with the emergence of the great and transcendent rock and cave art all around the world. All around the world. Over the last 30 years, researchers have suggested an intriguing and radical possibility, which is that this emergence into consciousness was triggered by our ancestors' encounters with visionary plants.
We became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures. And we became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures. Then we became.
If you analyze the cave art, there are so many details that make it clear that this was an art of altered states of consciousness, of visions. Visions. Plants like the Amanita muscaria mushroom or psilocybin mushroom appear to have been directly connected with this sudden and radical change.
We became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures. And we became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures. And we became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures. And we became fully symbolic creatures. Fully symbolic creatures. Akira the Don and Graham Hancock from the album The War on Consciousness coming out shortly. You can pre-order that on Bandcamp today. Visionary plants and the beginning of shamanism. Welcome to the neo-psychedelic age. Come on! Visionary plants and the beginning of shamanism. Visionary plants and the beginning of shamanism. Yeah, baby, that's on all streaming platforms now. Now, N-O-W, that spells now. What's up, Sway? Says this shit slaps. Hey, thank you, baby. Thank you, baby. Y'all been getting reports in of neo-psychedelic activities. I was predicting, if you recall, February 2021, I've been predicting for many years that the culture would shift into that mode. I'm getting lots of reports from people who are witnessing things like psychedelic patterned umbrellas appearing in Sydney and weird shit like that. So that sounds about right. Whatever time it is, baby, whatever the cultural swing is doing, you want to make sure your posture is on point.
And it's an injunction
you dig.
To be combative, not least to further your career, but also to adopt of ready engagement with the world and to reflect that in your posture. I kind of have an affinity for lobsters. when a lobster loses a fight, it kind of crunches down, so he looks smaller. When he loses a fight, he stretches out, looks bigger. And so he's signaling to other lobsters the tally of his victory. So you think, well, so what? The lobster runs on serotonin, neurochemical. And if the lobster loses, the serotonin levels go down. And if he wins, the serotonin levels go up. And when the serotonin levels go up, he stretches out. And he's a confident lobster. And one of the consequences of that is if a lobster loses a battle and you give him the equivalent of antidepressant, then he stretches out and he'll go fight again.
Stand up straight, stand up straight, stand up straight with your shoulders back. Stand up straight, hey, stand up straight, hey, stand up straight with your shoulders back.
Stand up straight,
hey,
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 stand up straight,
stand up straight with your shoulders back.
So antidepressants work on lobsters. And you think, well, who cares? It's like, no. You don't get it. We diverged from lobsters from an evolutionary perspective 350 million years ago, and it's the same circuit. It's absolutely unbelievable. And that shows you how deep inside you, how basic, how primordial that circuit is in you. It's sizing other people up and looking at where they fit in the hierarchy. The idea of the hierarchy is at least 350 million years old. So I read that and I think, well, so much for the idea that human hierarchies are a cultural construct. It's like, no, that's wrong. It's not just a little bit wrong, it's unbelievably wrong. It's mind-bogglingly wrong. Lobsters have hierarchies. That's a third billion years ago. Okay, that's not a social construction. It's part of being itself. And if you only see a hierarchy as power and tyranny, then you're looking at the world wrong.
Wrong!
Stand up straight,
hey,
stand up straight,
hey,
stand up straight,
with your shoulders back. Stand up straight, I stand up straight, I stand up straight, with your shoulders back.
Stand up straight,
I
stand up straight,
I
stand up straight,
I
stand up straight, stand up straight, stand up straight, stand up straight,
with your shoulders back.
So this basically says, I'm open to the world. But what it also says is I can handle being open to the world. So it signifies competence and confidence. The deep Christian idea is that you should accept the vulnerability of being. That's the acceptance of the crucifixion. You're at the X where all the suffering takes place. You gonna whine about that? No, and get resentful and bitter about it? Or are you gonna say, bring it on?
Bring it out!
You can handle it, no matter what it is. The idea is that if you can do that, you will transcend the tragedy. And it's like, well, could that be true? Well, you admire the courageous, so well, how courageous can you get? That's the question. How courageous can you get? Well, you practice.
Stand up straight!
Stand up straight, stand up straight,
with your shoulders back.
Stand up straight,
hey,
stand up straight,
hey,
stand up straight,
with your shoulders back.
Stand up straight,
hey,
stand up straight,
hey,
stand up straight, stand up straight, stand up straight, stand up straight,
stand up straight, with your shoulders back.
You want to present yourself in a manner that doesn't
Meaningwave on top of his zone.
You don't want to disgrace yourself because
if your posture is correct, make some noise for yourself.
Dysregulation, more pain, less positive emotion, and so the best way to present yourself is to stand up.
Regulators!
Stretch out, and to occupy some space. If you present yourself in that manner, then other people are more likely to take you seriously. And that means they'll start treating you as if you're a number 1 lobster instead of a number 10 lobster.
Number 1 lobsters, make some noise!
About how to be successful is to confront things that frighten you forthrightly and with courage. And that's kind of a universal strategy for success. And so that's what the first chapter is about.
Yeah, there you go, baby. Thank you for being here. This was the Meaningwave Live Super Request Show. Meaningwave Live Super Requests. Shouts out to everyone who got their Meaningwave Live Super Requests in. There were some great ones tonight. Great ones! Great ones! Particularly Mason's great one that was the only one that went unplayed. Because that was for a section from the middle of a mix. And I can't be playing sections from the middle of mixes. I mean, how would I even find it? Yo! But it reminds us that there is so much work for us to do. So much work to do. There are old mixes still that need to be turned into albums, and so many miracles that need to be made. So much to be done, brothers and sisters. So many opportunities here at the peak of recorded human civilization. Opportunities to go forth, to be mighty. Here at the peak of recorded human history, at the pinnacle of the at the very beginning of the neo-psychedelic age.
Time for heroes. As the new heroic age dawns. Hurrah! Blah! Bah, bah. Kaboom! Kaboom! All right. Big shouts to everyone locked in, and thank you to everyone who came through with the requests. Ren Hack, Walking My Poet, Red King, Wed XP, Prince Jabrikas, Andrew Cameron, hey, Ali, Inside of the Ages, Ruben Pons, and Mason, and Sway. Happy birthday, Sway's wife. And big shouts out to Andrew Sundoku. Appreciate you. Just realized that had a really weird effect on my voice. I don't know how it got there. It was different to the normal one. Once again, thank you all for being here. As always, if you want to support Meaningwave, I'd go to meaningwave.com. If I was you, I'd buy this hoodie or one similar. We have many, many fine garments made in the USA by real Americans in real American situations. You know, this shit is comfortable. This shit is well made. It's made of excellent material. It's cozy. It's comfy. It's meaningful. And I would definitely suggest copying some of that. Go to bandcamp.com. Pre-order the new album. Do that. You can become a member of this channel. You can become a member of the Patreon. If you want to make a donation to the Wave, you can go to meaningwave.com and hit the resources tab, and you'll find links there. There's also a P.O. box if you want to send us anything. Don't send us a bass guitar because somebody else did. Someone's already sent us a bass guitar. Whoever that was, thank you. And yeah, big up. And of course, you know, if you want to be a real MVP, let the world know the truth of the master, and the truth of the master is this: Meaningwave exists. You know, big shouts out to the artists at Data Science who did that in a very cool way, in a very powerful way. You know, artists at Data Science who some of you might remember was on the Twitch, on one of our Twitch broadcasts when we had a phone in. You know, sometimes we have phone in sections, and Meaningwave Autonomous Zone homies call in, you know. Artists of Data Science called in. Anyway, there's Artists of Data Science talking with James Altucher, Meaningwave superstar James Altucher, and wearing his Meaningwave Exists hoodie. Look how fly that is. Oh, it's a jumper, a sweatshirt. Look how cool that is. That's a very cool garment, you know. Look at James Altucher's lovely face. Look at that lovely beaming face. I love James Altucher's face. It makes me really happy, you know. It's just a lovely face. Shouts out to James Altucher's face. Shouts out to the artists of Data Science and that lovely face too. Look at that lovely face there. Look at that thing. Look at those cheeks. Look at those cheeks, rosy cheeks of joy. Yeah, so you see, that's how you do it. You know what I mean? You let the world know Meaningwave exists whenever you have an opportunity to do it in a big way. You know, that's what you do. Yo. All right, baby. It's Sunday. It's Sunday, so you know, we should say a prayer. We should pray. We should say a prayer, and we shall. Sir Donicus got a prayer. It says, "I pray for everyone to have good jobs." That's a very beautiful prayer. That's lovely. You know, Triad prays for prosperity, which is good for all. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Prosperity is good for all. As we, you know, Wave Father out there in that infinite ocean, as we plunge headlong into this new mode, this new time, this new age, this new, I don't know, what would you call it? Terrain. I pray that we have the wisdom and we take advantage of all of those senses with which you blessed us, you know, all of our senses. What's that one? The eye one, the sight, you know, that one's good. The hearing one, that's pretty good, you know. The taste one, that's good, you know. The touch one, that's good. We got a bunch of them, and I know we got some other ones, you know, that we maybe haven't fully identified yet or worked out how to quantify in our you know, materialist sort of scientific way of going about things. But there are more, and we are, and you know, what I pray is that we use all of them, you know, and we pay attention to all of them, because I know we're going to need them in this new time. I know we're going to be assaulted from all sides like never before with waves and waves and waves of all manner of information and disinformation, and new kinds of experiences and sensations and revelations and all manner of activities, you know. I pray that we take advantage of what you've already blessed us with. I know that you've already blessed us with what we need. I just pray that we take advantage and that we pay attention and that we activate all those senses, you know. I pray that all those muscles that have lain dormant, that we, you know, that some of us have allowed to atrophy, you know, I pray that we start working them, you know. I pray that we all do that, you know. I pray that we all get into the various gyms we need to get into, you know, and do the various exercises we need to do to activate those muscles that we gonna need for the wars ahead, you know. And I'd just like to say thank you, you know, for blessing us with the opportunity to be here right now at this incredible juncture in the human story, you know, in the cosmic story, in this incredible tale, this magnificent tale, you know, that you be spinning, you know. I'm just blessed to be here and, you know, play whatever part that is mine to play, you know, in the unfolding of this epic tale. And what an epic tale it is, you know. What an epic tale and what an epic time to be alive. I'm just grateful to be here, you know. And I like to, you know, ask you to bless the brave citizens of the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. I know you already did, you know. I know you already did. I know you continue to. So why am I even asking? Because it's, you know, it's nice to, you know. And sometimes sometimes you should ask, because you never know what you're gonna get, you know. But blessings for the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone by Joe. Blessings for each and every one of these brave, beautiful, humble citizens who come here, you know, who come here to escape, not to escape, who come here to, you know, engage in something beautiful, see their homies, listen to dope music, you know, and not worry, you know, not worry about the nonsense that people are besieged with. You know, people are besieged with a lot of nonsense, you know, and that's just part of the trials, you know. On the other side is greatness. Anyway, you know, I'm getting off track here, you know. I just wanted to say thanks, didn't I? You know, so there you go. So thank you, and God bless, and amen.
Whoop, 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 hallelujah! Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. Oh, what a beautiful feeling. Put your hands to the ceiling. Repeat after me. Hallelujah! God bless you all and all alike. Amen. So Grant Kelly says, thank you, ATD and MAZ fam. Mike says, you a special guy. Akira, peace, MAZ. What's up? Peace and blessings on each one of you. Peace and blessings on every one of you. Love to you and your family. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere. Here is where you are. And ain't nowhere else I would rather be than right here, right now with all of you. We'll be back tomorrow. Same bat time, same done time, same done channel. We'll be on Twitch at 7 a.m. CT. 7 a.m. CT. YouTube Hero Alex, if you've got access to the wheel, let's get in that danger zone and spin that wheel and see what position we're going to kick off from tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is a Monday. It's a whole new week. It's a whole new week, baby. It's February. It's opportunity, you know. It's mad opportunity out there. Opportunity for you to honor the ancestors. You dig? Yo! Look at that, baby. We're going happy tomorrow. It's happy time. We're doing happy vibes only. Happy music only tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. CT on TWITCH. Hurrah! Hurrah, I say. That's a wonderful thing. So we'll see you there, baby. Thank you for being here. Shalom be with ya, says Amanda. That's right. 3, 2, 1. Bye. Bye.